primetime potent, keep it entertaining. You already knowin'. Outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Fighting Wolf, U.S. Assassin. Doing just what he loves, this is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar, no I'm not frontin'. That's how Just a Writer became a moral compass. This is primetime potent. This is primetime potent. Let's go. It's all about the boom. TMC, baby. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. Hit him with the body slam, elbow drop. TMC, Cowboy Phil, laid pot guys. What you see in the ring are two monsters. Energy of a king and of a rock star. Yeah, drop kick, probably make your heart stop. You ain't ready, super scary and they staying on top. Hit a ding ding, better watch yourself. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. Lay pot guys, yeah, they the real deal. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. 2 times a week, you can't compete. They body slam you down, now you taste the beat. The champions, they legendary, nobody like them. Coming for the belt, yeah, they coming for the title. Hey, it's all about the boom. TMC, baby. TMC, baby. Yeah. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. Let's go. Phil, baby. Hey, 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 yeah, let's go.
What's up, guys? Happy Sunday. It's your reigning, defending, unified, undisputed CGWF World Champion, the Moral Compass, the Deathmatch King, Mark Polton. And the search party's over. We found him. Cowboy Phil in the house. What's up, Cowboy Phil?
A lot, but nothing the Cowboy can't handle. Glad that sort of slowing down a bit as the winter break is right around the corner. Just got to get through this week, and then it's a nice little break. So get to recharge and try to be back at least once a week.
No break for Cowboy Phil, though, because he's going to be drawing pages, right?
Oh, you got it. The break never truly ends.
We get no days off over here.
Nope.
Phil. I got to tell you, nothing brings a smile to my face quite like hearing the Lapod Gods theme song.
It's all about the boom, and I still have it humming in my head right now. And I'm just like, it's been too long.
My favorite part is it's TMC and Cowboy Phil.
Sometimes it just cracks me up that Cowboy Phil is the hook to get to the next course. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, I heard Chase singing it one time, walking through the hallway. It's catchy.
TMC, baby.
We got Past Master Dan in the house. What's up, Dan? The premier trash talker, Corey Barton, in the house. Nicholas Gear. Mark, who's this guy? This is Cowboy Phil. He's been missing in action, but
MIA.
We sent a posse out for him, and they rounded him up for me.
The Mean Street Posse.
I mean, you know it's Christmas season because Santa gave me what I wanted, another episode of Lapod Gods. And this isn't just any episode. This is our Christmas special. This is the Lapoddies awarding excellence in professional wrestling. Who doesn't want to win a Lapoddy, Phil?
Everyone wants to win a Lapoddy. That is the goal of this day. Every year we look. I have. There's gonna be. Let's just say there's gonna be a lot of WWE heavy this year as opposed to recent years.
I'm interested to hear your list. And since it's our Christmas special, we exchange pro wrestling related gifts, man. I'm excited. I got mine right here. Very excited. What should we do first? Should we start giving out Lapoddies, or should we just get
let's give the gifts and then we'll receive our gifts.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I wrote down some categories. If you have any categories you'd like to add to this, by all means, interject. But let's start off hot. Match of the year.
Match of the year. Hmm. Was there really? I had to say, I don't know if there's any real match of the year standout outside of Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell, torn pectoral muscle. That thing was a thing of beauty. It had story, it had wrestling, it had real life pain, it had kayfabe sorrow. It was the best wrestling match and probably the most relevant wrestling match that the WWE has had in quite a long time.
Cowboy Phil, we're on the same page. I had that match as match of the year. That was, I mean, this will lead into our next award, but man, I that was like one of the most that was a career defining moment for Cody Rhodes. I feel
Mhm.
like,
It really was, and probably in the career of Seth Rollins, someone who's been floundering as of late. We talk about it every. I feel like every La Poddies episode, we say Seth Rollins has all the talent in the world, but he's hooked up in some weird gimmick and some new weird theme that you can never really get everything behind him. And this really kind of reinvigorated him. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a face turn in the near future from him.
so they're saying when Cody comes back, they're going to reignite the feud with Seth
Hmm.
Rollins. Do you see Seth somehow getting his hands on the world title and Cody beating him for it?
No, no. I mean, up until recent, I think I think we were all set. It was going to be Cody does it for his dad, wins the championship at Mania, beats the man who hasn't been pinned in years now.
Yeah.
And you got to think, did that story is that storyline too far away now? Is it not fresh enough to give it the proper build that it deserves?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors that maybe Roman drops the title before WrestleMania because the rumor is Roman versus Rock. You don't need a
Mhm,
title for that match, and somehow Seth gets the belt before Mania, and that sets it up for Cody.
mhm.
Cody winning at WrestleMania, or the belts getting split because they are unified right now.
And that would be interesting to see him lose one of those belts because I
Yeah,
don't think I still think it's you don't want to take, any of the shine off of him. So maybe he loses it by someone else taking a pinfall because you just can't have him coming off a couple of losses where he loses the titles to go up against The Rock because then there's a clear favorite. You don't want
yeah.
people knowing.
It's WWE's in a good place right now because there's so many possibilities on
Mhm,
who people would want to see take the belt off Roman. I mean, there's The Rock, there's Cody, Sami Zayn. Everyone loves Sami Zayn right now.
mhm.
Past Master Dan, he says, "Hey, you guys, stopping by to say wrestling. Thanks for stopping by, Dan."
I don't want to say too much on Sami Zayn right now because I think he's gonna be
Yeah,
walking out with a bunch of Lapatis.
you could be right, Cowboy Phil. All right, next award. So this one leads right into our next award, Inspirational Wrestler of the Year. I went with Cody Rhodes. I mean, that performance at Hell in the Cell, plus just he's a guy who he saw the writing on the wall at
Mhm,
AEW. He was never going to be. This may be unfair. He was never going to be the guy there. Uh, Tony Khan sort of hung his hat on Kenny Omega, CM Punk, Hangman, but not so much Cody Rhodes. So Cody went over to WWE, made a triumphant return at WrestleMania, and sort of like captivated the world. I feel like.
hmm. Category. There's one man who I think has to take this award, and that is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, coming
Wow.
back for one more match. The man was knocking on heaven's door just a few years ago. It was the reports were he only had a certain amount of hours before he passed away, take him off life support. and the man kicked out of 2 from the pin of the Grim Reaper to getting one final match, in a match that he won out on his own terms. So I got to give it to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Wow, what a selection! I watched. Did you watch that match, Phil?
I did.
I
I
watched it
did.
too. I thought the Grim Reaper was going to take him that night.
When every time he grasped at his heart, I was like, I am not prepared for this.
Hell of a job by Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and
Mhm.
Andrade to help Nate get through that match. But good for him. He went out on his own terms.
Mhm.
I like the pick. So I had Cody Rhodes. You had the Nature Boy Ric Flair. All right, next up. Both of our selections sort of could apply to this next
Mhm.
one. Return of the year. A lot of big returns. Cody returns to WWE. Ric Flair returns to wrestling. Seems like Edge is returning every 6 months. But no, I did not have any of those guys. Return of the year can only go to one man. The man who main evented WrestleMania. I'm talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. What a hell of a match he had with Kevin Owens.
Mhm.
It was one of the most entertaining. It wasn't match of the year in my opinion, but one of the most entertaining matches.
You know, so much so that it's even rumored that Stone Cold could have a match at WrestleMania against CM Punk, of all people. The crazy rumors that are swirling out there, but that could not be a possibility without Stone Cold Steve Austin showing that he can return to the ring even for just minor matches.
Yeah, as the match went on, he was drinking, and I feel like he got better the more he drank.
Mhm.
I
Uh,
mean, that's Stone Cold Steve Austin for you. He's powered by beer.
so for return of the year, I don't know if it's necessarily the most noteworthy return, or maybe, but I think Soraya, FKA Page, getting cleared, and think about it. She was the last of the trio between Brian Danielson and Edge, and then her to all have these neck injuries that were career ending, or in the case of Danielson, the concussions. But Soraya came back, and I'll say she's could be the thing that actually makes AEW's women's division relevant, especially since they're getting a new producer and new look for the show coming up in 2023.
Wow, that's what I love about you, Cowboy Phil. You don't go with the easy choice.
Mhm.
Soraya, comeback wrestler of the year, beating Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Well, I mean, Stone Cold was able to go out on his own terms. I
Yeah,
don't think I always feel bad when it's injury that costs a career.
good point. You know what? I'm going to take a little break now, Cowboy Phil, because there's one thing we got to do around here, and you know what that is.
Pay the bills.
Yeah, we got to pay the bills. I'm talking loose threads in demand, but not for much longer. The Emerge hardcover art books are in from the printer. I'm sending the loose threads books to the printer before the end of the year because I want to claim these expenses on my taxes, Phil. So I'm just waiting to get the files from my production guy, and we'll be good to go. We'll be fulfilling this in January. So this will be campaign number 15 for good old TMC. What do you think about that, Phil?
I mean, has anyone even gotten past 10?
I don't think so, man.
Are
I,
you
I,
just not
I'm just
in? You're
leaving
from
everyone in the dust.
because 3 times as many as even the biggest crowdfunding launches.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. This is what we do around here. We make books and we fulfill them. But loose threads. What happens to your favorite comic book characters when their series are canceled? Written by me. My most personal story to date. Wrote it after getting fired by DC Comics because I was wondering what's going to happen to Hawkman now. And it hit me. I was like, oh, that'd be a pretty good comic book story. I'm joined by Cesar Madaro, and he convinced the legend, George Perez, to do a cover for us before he passed. This could be very well be the last George Perez cover. Absolutely beautiful. Jam cover by him and Cesar Madaro. Beautiful colors by Anthony George. This is history, Cowboy Phil.
And you could be a part of it.
Yeah. All you have to do is back the book. You can get the George Perez cover, or you can go all in with the fan pack. You get the George Perez cover. Interiors are beautiful by Cesar Madaro and Anthony George. You can get the variant cover by CG Revolution's Chris Graves. Chris is going to be an artist to watch in 2023. This guy's going to be huge, I believe. And you get this beautiful variant cover by him. You can also get the black and white edition. There it is right here. Black and white edition by Cesar Madaro. Really, really admire his pencil work, his shading. Mm-hmm. And then, as I mentioned earlier, emerged The Art of Heather Martin hardcover, 48 pages. Awesome artwork by her. She's done pinups for Black Owl, Loose Threads, U.S. Assassin, becoming one of my favorite artists. And I wanted to publish her artwork. All 4 books, $100. If you signed up for the mailing list, you got the link for the secret tier. You can get all 4 books for $80. So if you haven't backed Loose Threads yet, please consider it.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Please consider it. What are you waiting for? Back it yesterday.
There you go. Thanks for saying what
we should all be saying.
Yeah.
It's all right.
A lot of people lately, Phil, I don't know what started this, but they're calling me the king of indie comics.
Maybe it's because you're the fulfillment king.
True.
15,
man. John says his comeback of the year is Bray Wyatt. It was a great comeback. I feel like everything else, maybe a little lackluster. What do you think, Phil?
I feel like LA Knight just the other night kind of stole his thunder from him. I kind of was more entertained about him with the beatdown than Uncle Howdy. So,
you know me, I love me some LA Knight. I think he's the best on the mic next to Roman Reigns as far as WWE goes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says Jamie Hayter is their champ, but she is being completely abandoned. She has no feud.
I think that's a summary of the division. That's what it's been this year.
Yeah. Eddie Winkler in the house. What's up, Eddie? Eddie, one of the original
main event misfits.
Main event misfits before the gimmick change.
Yeah, for the evolution. Evolve or perish.
All right, next up. I'm going to do promotion of the year. What company is your top pick, Cowboy Phil?
It is the Triple H era of WWE. I think up until Triple H took the company over, wrestling was very, very stagnant. And we had, besides all the backstage drama of AEW that no one wanted, a year without Kenny Omega, that until just these past couple months, it wasn't until the Vince McMahon scandal and there was hope that he could be ousted when Triple H came in, signed all those that were cut, put them in angles, and now is giving us something to watch at least once a week with SmackDown. WWE has taken the crown and the championship back. It's WWE.
Eddie Winkler agrees for you, but of course he would. Main event misfit for life. Triple H is the man. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go against you though. So this is AEW has sucked big time this year. Yeah. Adam Cole, baby, has been completely incapacitated. I'm going with AEW because they have provided us with so much entertainment this year, maybe unintentionally. Phil, was there anything more, I don't know, entertaining than the fallout from the CM Punk's media scrum?
I think I'm more saddened by that than laughing about that, than humored about that, because I still want to see CM Punk over those guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. I want to see money made. Stop pussing around and put it on air.
Yeah, but besides that, you got MJF's return and ascension to world champion. you hate him, but John Moxley, he could be MVP. I would say he's the MVP of AEW, except for this guy who I think has been the most entertaining person in AEW, and I'm talking about Chris Jericho. He made Action Andretti last week, Phil.
Listen, without Jericho, there is just there's nothing about AEW that entertains me at all. At all. And it seems if he can't do it all, and time again, look at what happens. You put the ROH championship on him, a company that's not doesn't even have a network deal yet. You put the belt on Jericho and he becomes the top champion on a different brand. Come on now.
No, Jericho, man, he's the GOAT. He really is. Made Ring of Honor more relevant than it's been in years. So Ring of Honor now is going to exist with their online streaming service. What was it? Honor Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he basically made that. I would say he made that happen because without him, is anyone talking about Ring of Honor?
No.
Man's incredible. After he drops the Ring of Honor title, what does he do? He selects someone who he had his eye on after seeing his dark match against QT Marshall, Action Andretti. Made the guy a superstar overnight.
It's going to be great. I'm excited to see how this unfolds. I think he's realizing that AEW needs a personality change because whatever they were going on to begin with hasn't worked. It's in fact been failing, and we see it more and more. The ratings don't lie. More and more people are stopping their watching of the product.
Johnny Cage has joined us. He says, Okada, come in, wreck Adam Cole, leave. 24 Eyes says the ratings are dropping more. Ring of Honor will never have TV time. Well, it's going to be on their streaming service, so it's not going to be national or cable television, and that's probably where Ring of Honor needs to be right now.
I mean, you knew when they said, "All right, Jericho, you're dropping the title now."
Yeah,
you knew they were like, "Okay, we can't cheapen Jericho."
Yeah. All right. Next up, promo of the year.
Promo of the year is definitely the Full Gear, the post Full Gear pay-per-view MJF getting the mic turned off. Because it was the first time in a long time we got to see someone just manipulate the crowd like that, to come out getting booed and cheered and stuff thrown on you, to having them chant your name by the end of it. It would have been so great. Punk came out at the end. It would have been special. And that's the heartbreaking part of it. But it still nonetheless was a great promo for something that would never be.
I would say CM Punk's media scrum was the best promo, but that wasn't really a real promo. Although I don't know. There's so many great moments from that media scrum. But for real promos, I'm going to go with Ricky Starks on MJF just a couple weeks ago.
Interesting.
I thought that was talk about career-defining moments. I thought that promo was career-defining for Ricky Starks. I feel like that elevated him to pillar status, Cowboy Phil.
So this left me wondering after last episode, where does Ricky Starks go from here?
I think TNT title.
Okay.
I think he's upper mid.
Agreed.
Yeah. Johnny Cage says that streaming service won't make any money.
It won't. It's a failed product, and Tony Khan he's just leaking oil at this point.
I love me some Ring of Honor, but man, Tony Khan killed my favorite storyline if it had continued, which was Honor No More over on Impact Wrestling.
Another what could have been. That's what 2022 is going to be called for the year of wrestling. What could have been.
and it killed my shirt with Impact Wrestling because I did what would have been the Honor No More T-shirt, but the storyline got scrapped.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, Eddie Winkler, man, what could have been MJF versus Punk. Johnny Cage says there's only one pillar holding anything up. Who do you think MJF?
Well, I mean,
Jericho?
it's not Darby. It's not Darby. It's not Jungle Boy. It's not Sammy. So it's got to be MJF. He's the only one that's actually had a good year of all four of them.
24i says MJF should go to WWE when his contract is up. I think it's going to be hard for AEW to keep TV time. TNA had better ratings and they couldn't keep TV.
Agreed.
Johnny Cage says Darby's booking went to hell since the match with MJF. Eddie Winkler says Jericho is the pillar of AEW.
Without Jericho, this company it's so sad. They need a reboot, and they need a reboot fast because this is not going anywhere.
All right, next up, storyline of the year. So I just said it would have been, for me, it would have been Honor No More, but then Tony Khan brought back Ring of Honor, and it basically killed that storyline. So I'm going with Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, their rivalry, the whole Bloodline storyline.
There's no other storyline in professional wrestling that has just built interest from the moment it started. From the moment we got this new Roman Reigns, this is what we've been waiting for years from him. Eddie, it is the best storyline that the WWE has produced, and I can't even think of how long. Probably Michael's Undertaker. It's been that long. And Sami Zayn makes me remember why I love wrestling. That emotional turn of low blow to Kevin Owens. Oh, and it's still continuing. It makes it so great.
So good. Eddie Winkler says you can count on Cena to wreck that soon. So just announced John Cena will team up with Kevin Owens on December 30th SmackDown against Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. What a match.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pay-per-view match, and you're getting it free on Fox. I'm not going to be able to watch it because I'm going to be in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey for Hellseekers as Flip Gordon challenges for the Battle Club Championship, sponsored by U.S. Assassin. I'm going to have a U.S. Assassin booth there. I'm sponsoring professional wrestling events, Cowboy Phil. I'm living the dream.
I mean, can you honestly say there's something better? Because there isn't.
No, man. And I mean, so many cool things are happening with U.S. Assassin. I can't wait to start announcing them. Eddie Winkler says the Bloodline storyline is certainly the longest. I'll give him that. 24i says it's amazing how well the Bloodline has done considering how much people originally hated Roman when Vince started his push. I think everyone agreed, though, that Roman needed to be a heel. And once he became a heel, he became a great heel.
I mean, remember he was getting cheered so greatly against Batista at the Royal Rumble. And that's when they should have struck with him being a solo star, but one that was a heel, as everyone knew. But I think it was just a matter of time.
Corey Barton says the Barton Bros had the best storyline in the ring. First, they lost from the competition being rigged by the ref, but they stayed determined and won again. Barton Bros are a team on the rise in the CGWF, but there's other teams to contend with. I mean, there's the Pod Gods. There's my new creation, US Ass Chin, Mike McMahon and Don Chin. I expect big things from them. You know, you can't count out the Diaz brothers. They dropped the title. They're going to be on the hunt to reclaim them. So everyone's gunning for the Gentleman Scoundrels. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the new coming year. I mean, of course, I'm the champion of the whole thing. So the whole CGWF pot revolves around me. Cowboy Phil's in tears.
That Mike McMahon Don Chin tag team just got me. It got me. Because it's gonna get over. That's the best part about it is we laugh, but it's
Yeah,
so gonna get over.
yeah, it's going to be a thing.
This is like Too Cool and Rikishi over.
Chris Cranham says Kevin Owens and Ezekiel storyline for storyline of the year. I gotta admit, I was amused by that storyline.
I was too. I think I think wrestling is I think the WWE, in my opinion, is going to take that next step forward. I think we're really starting to see actually entertainment again. I do think Triple H is gonna give us what the people want.
Looking forward to it. All right, next up, this is no brainer. Faction of the year, Bloodline.
Totally.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, probably only the Jericho Appreciation Society before it got too big, before Tay and Sammy got in there, and yeah.
what about the Factory, Phil?
Oh my God. Blackpool Combat Club can't even be mentioned when the reason why they're called Blackpool is no longer there.
Yeah, Mike McMahon in the house. What's up, Mike? We were just talking about US Ass Chin, my tag team creation. All right, next up, Rookie of the Year. I think there's only one choice. I'm going to say it, Logan Paul.
Oh, without a doubt.
The
Without a
man,
doubt, the man destroyed his knee.
he's a natural in the ring, though. He's an entertainer. He's an athlete. He killed it in the ring, man.
You know, if I hadn't had Hook last year, right at the tail end when he
Yeah.
started, he would have been my MVP this year for Rookie of the Year. But Logan Paul, I mean, I'm lucky. I think we're all lucky he signed a contract because I think he can actually do something.
Mattel, they released the Logan Paul Ultimate figure on Black Friday for pre-order. You know I got one.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage says Action Bronson. And Johnny Cage, he was sick of the JSA.
Yo, he's
wrong about that.
I mean,
I would say
that
Sammy
name
was
is gonna.
adding Sammy and Ty was a misstep.
I mean, Action Bronson, he's got to get a new. Right? He's got to get a new name, right? Action Bronson's one of the worst names I've heard.
He's a rapper, you know that, right, Phil? He does Hook's theme song.
All right, let's.
He teamed up with Hook.
Oh Jesus! All right, well,
against Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. Eddie Winkler was never sold on Hook. How dare you? Chris Cranham says, "What about Satnam Singh? Game-changing talent. 1 in a million, man." All right, next up, Indie Wrestler of the Year. I only added this so I could shout out my man Matt Cardona. He was hurt most of the year, and he's still the most important indie wrestler there is.
I agree.
Yeah. 24i says Action is a rapper and a good show guy. All right, next up, Tag Team of the Year. Now this might be interesting. Would you like to go first, or you want me to go? Oh, I think we already.
Let me. Yeah.
Other way, Phil.
Let me get you, friend. There we go. It's got to be the Acclaimed. I don't think there's been a tag team that's been this entertaining, this genuine, this really breakout a long time. I mean, it's been a while since since DIY and FTR back in their NXT days. Has there been not since then? Has there been a tag team that's
Yeah,
People just
they
genuinely like.
captivated the whole wrestling universe. And
Mhm.
what about Billy Gunn, man? Going from maybe the hottest tag team of the Attitude era to the
Mhm.
hottest tag team of the modern day, and going from Suck It to Scissor Me. What,
He's
20 years in between? How long? No, 30, almost 30
30 years and almost 25 years.
of putting out shirts that gets kids in trouble at school. Johnny Cage would said FTR except their booking sucks.
That's why
Yeah,
they
I mean,
weren't.
yeah. Do you think the Bucks are keeping them away from the the world titles?
I
They're the most over. They were the most over team before the claim caught fire.
I don't think I just don't think Tony Khan has his head out of his ass, to
Yeah.
be honest. I think he
20,
I think he missed the boat and realized he missed it and didn't want to go back to it.
24 I says FTR the Briscoes. I mean, you got to put the Usos in the conversation too. They're
Yeah.
dominating
They're
WWE tag team
they're
division.
about to take the NXT belts from the New Day, I think.
Yeah. All right. 2 more awards to give out, Phil.
Mhm.
Female Wrestler of the Year.
Female Wrestler of the Year. You go first.
All right. I've been singing this woman's praises since the start of the pod, gods. Jamie Hayter. She's finally getting the credit she's due, but it's just in such a lousy division.
I think that's good. I think really there's only one woman who should win this award, and Britt Baker should always win it because she really is. But I'm gonna go in a different way. I'm gonna say it's been a really good year for Bianca Belair as being the only kind of constant in this weird shifting landscape of the WWE. I think she's been putting on incredible matches. I think it's almost been a year since Sasha Banks and her had that masterpiece of WrestleMania. Her last, I think that's Sasha Banks' last singles match she's ever competed in and probably will for the WWE. So I'm going to say Bianca Belair just because she's an unsung hero.
Is Sasha going to New Japan?
I think she's going to be going to Hollywood. I don't think she's going to I don't think she's going to love wrestling that much. I think she's a WWE mark, not a wrestling mark.
I disagree. I think she's going to New Japan. I'm going to say they're going to make her part of Bullet Club.
We, I will buy you that shirt and a beer if that comes to fruition.
Sounds good. Johnny Cage says Buck should have dropped the belts to them at All Out. Everyone was calling it. Poor Briscoes. 24i says the one thing Tony has, 2 of the best tag teams. All right. One more award, Cowboy Phil. Then it's gift giving time. Wrestler of the Year. I think we both have the same pick.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is at the halfway point, neither of us would have had this guy as our pick. We probably both would have said, oh, Cody's going to win this. And Cody's, he's sort of in the picture, even though he missed so much time. He made such an impact with his WWE return. But Roman Reigns has been so great. Jericho, he's the GOAT as far as we're both concerned. But no, none of those guys are Wrestler of the Year. My pick for Wrestler of the Year is Sami Zayn. This guy has been absolutely amazing since the whole Bloodline storyline started.
This could be the WrestleMania moment that hasn't been for a long time. Probably since the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania moment. Something Sami Zayn could be the one to take the title off of Roman Reigns. Who would have thought this guy who we thought his career, but this is what, I hate to say Vince McMahon was right when he says this, but he said you just gotta reach for the brass ring. And Sami Zayn did everything that was asked of him. He took one little moment and he got it over, and he deserves to get the belt at WrestleMania because when the bloodline turns on him, you will see men crying in the stadium. It's going to be one of the best moments that the WWE can put on in a probably ever. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Yeah. So, what a year by Sami Zayn. He's over when Jim Cornette, who hated Generico, said he loves Sami Zayn. He's the best thing in wrestling right now.
He's just because you can believe he's just a good guy at heart. You're rooting for him in the modern day Stone Cold way. I mean, when we were with the Stone Cold days, it was a different generation, different attitude. Sammy is almost in the way because this is the guy that you want to be friends with at work, not the
Yeah.
kind like Stone Cold was you grab a beer with afterwards. This guy, you just think he deserves it. Just a genuine good guy. And the storyline, they owe it to him.
Corey Barton says Barton Bros champions of the year. You got to win some gold, Corey. And maybe next year is your year, but you haven't won any gold yet. I won 3 belts last year: the Primetime Championship, the Breaking Rad Championship, and the CGWF Championship. You know what? Let's give a little potty for CGWF Wrestler of the Year. I think we know who it is. Your Deathmatch King.
I mean, he was first up. Second up was Primetime Polton, and third up was the Fulfillment King.
There you go. Mike McMahon says Danhausen for all the human awards. Chris Graves in the house. What's up, Chris? Chris, speaking of CGWF, this Wednesday, CG Revolution Christmas episode, CGWF presents a massacre on 34th Street. It's going to be the CG Revolution, also known as the Primetime 3. You got me, Mike McMahon, Chris Graves. Cowboy Phil he's got the giggles tonight.
Sometimes I just think that the massacre on 34th Street it's brilliant. Brilliant. It makes you remember why I love professional wrestling.
We're going to be taking on the Ballers, Shane Davis, Patrick Thomas Parnell, and Dale Keown, my mortal enemy, Dale Keown. I've killed him once, Cowboy Phil. It's Christmas, but I might just kill him again.
I mean, then we just have to wait for Easter for him to get resurrected again.
Oh, we got Clayton in the house. Corey's brother, Clayton Barton. Has he come to talk some trash too? 24i says Sammy is a master performer. He has maintained heat with handicap gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
Chris wants to know, is that the real Clayton? I believe it is. It is the real Clayton, confirmed. Chris Graves says we're gonna beat them worse than Jags beat the Cowboys. Cowboy Phil.
They should have ran the ball, and then they don't have enough time to kick a field goal to send it over. It's moving on.
Chris says Clayton is the nice Barton brother. You got to have that attitude that Corey has, though. If you want to go far in the CGWF, I mean, I didn't become world champion until I turned heel on the entire fan base.
So true.
All right, so that'll do it for the Poddies.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Ready to?
Ready.
Who goes first? Who wants to open a present first?
Oh, whoever. Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, so I win, so you go first.
All right. Oh, I love this. And I don't have it, so this is awesome.
I figured. I think it just came out a little bit ago, and it's the first time I saw one in a while. So
I just need to get it out of the bag. There we go. You really need this kid-proof, Phil.
I'm sorry. I hooked the inside loops
we
of
go.
this thing.
I love it. I got a Sting Wrestling Buddy. Oh, but that's not it. I got a Cinemark gift card, and that is wrestling related because they have the AEW events.
That's right.
Cowboy Phil, next AEW pay-per-view, we're going.
All right. Sounds good. Let's rock it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love it.
No problem. All right. Here we go. It is the legend of professional wrestling, Kiss Demon figure.
I know you're the biggest Kiss fan. You got married at the Kiss Chapel.
I did indeed. That's hilarious.
That's one of the nicest action figures I think I've seen. That Kiss Demon figure is awesome.
He's going right up on the shelf, right next to my Kiss shelf. This is great. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate this. This is awesome.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, look at, and everyone cries.
Look at that.
Look at that. That is a great figure. Look at, next show we got to go up with our face paint.
Yeah. All we need is a Vampiro figure, and we can recreate that WCW feud.
You know what? I would take a little WCW in my life right now. So,
Chris says, "Wow, amazing Danhausen figure."
Which one?
Awesome. Eddie Winkler says, "Merry Christmas, everyone." Yeah, that'll do it. Phil, we got to get you back every week.
I'm gonna be committed after the holidays, 2023. I'll do it once a week. You got it.
Once a week and pages every week. That's
got it.
There you go.
You can count.
Right.
You can count on that.
Phil, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimatedPhil, and have a happy New Year, all.
And your Etsy store, the link is in the description, as well as the links for Loose Threads. I noticed you got a couple more sales. Was that because of Ocean City Comic Con?
Yeah. Sometimes people, they don't buy it then, and then they pay extra now. So
yeah.
Thank you, OC.
All right, guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poll and hit the notifications. Go back Loose Threads. Go sign up for Hurley's Heroes. Launches January 4th. And go watch me, Chris, and Mike on Wednesday for CG Revolution. It's going to be a massacre on 34th Street. Dale Keown's in for it. Shane Davis, he's in for it. Patrick Thomas Parnell, they're all in for it. Season's beatings, everyone. See you later.